Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of Tech Tuesdays. This is your host Royd, and in today's video we're going to talk about the top 10 pieces of equipment that every photographer should own. But before we get to the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel guys and hit that notification bell so you stay updated on future videos. Now, if you're a gearhead like me, it's hard to resist the temptation to want to buy the latest and greatest piece of equipment out in the market. I felt the same way when trying to make this list, but after giving it a lot of thought, here are my top 10 things that every photographer should own. Number 1, a good quality camera strap. Now, anyone who's ever shot an Indian wedding knows that it can be an extremely physically demanding job. After carrying around your heavy camera equipment all day long, it's very easy to start getting back and shoulder pains and other issues. This is why it's highly recommended that you invest in a good quality and comfortable camera strap. Not the free one that comes with your camera, which is okay to get started with, but if you're really serious about photography, then get yourself a good camera strap and you'll thank me later. A lot of wedding photographers and event photographers these days also shoot with 2 camera bodies. So if you're one of those, then invest in a dual camera strap to carry around both your cameras at the same time. The 2 that I recommend are the Black Rapid Double Breathe camera harness and the Hold Fast Moneymaker. The Hold Fast Moneymaker is the most stylish of the 2 and is made from leather. But both of these are very high quality camera straps and feature steel lugs that attach to the bottom of the camera and keep your kit secure. Investing in such high quality and comfortable camera straps will make those long shoot days a lot more bearable. Number 2, extra batteries and memory cards. Now, when you buy a new camera, it'll usually come with a battery and sometimes even a memory card to get you started. These are okay if you shoot occasionally or as a hobby. But if you shoot professionally, then having extra batteries and memory cards is a no-brainer. On those super long shoot days, you may not even get a chance to recharge your single battery. So having spare, fully charged batteries ready to go will make sure that you can keep shooting and not miss a single important moment. Most pro cameras have 2 card slots, so you should be shooting to 2 SD cards already. But you should also have plenty of spare cards ready to go in case your cards get full. SD cards are really cheap these days, so there really is no reason why you can't have plenty of spare cards in your bag. There are some great SD cards available in the market today, like this 128GB 170Mbps card from SanDisk. You could also choose to go with 64GB memory cards if you wanted to shoot each event on a separate memory card for easy transferring. If you have a little more budget, also take a look at Sony's tough memory cards, which are really good. Number 3, a reliable memory card reader. After spending a lot of money on good quality memory cards, it is also recommended that you get a good and reliable card reader. Now, this is one place where you don't want to buy something cheap to try and save money. There have been many horror stories with data being lost and cards getting corrupted because of bad and faulty card readers. Investing in a good brand will save you a lot of headache later on. I highly recommend the SanDisk ImageMate Pro, which also comes with a USB-C cable for Apple users. If you're on a budget, you can take a look at the Transcend multi-card reader. Number 4, a good flash. Now, I'm primarily a natural light photographer and I love the speed and flexibility that comes with shooting available light. But even someone like me has to sometimes pull out the old flash to light up the scene. This is especially true when shooting indoors and maybe there isn't a lot of available light in the room. Every photographer should have at least one good flash in the bag that they can pull out in situations like this. And you don't have to get too fancy with the flash either. Simply bouncing the light from the ceiling will also give you very pleasing and well exposed photos. You can also do a lot of creative photography by taking the flash off camera and using things like gels and grids, etc. Now, you can buy name brand flashes from Nikon, Canon or Sony, but there are also third-party companies that make really good flashes like Godox, Profoto, etc. My personal recommendation here is the Godox V1, which uses lithium batteries that last a lot longer and also recharge a lot faster than your standard pencil cell flashes. Number 5, lens filters. Now, once you've spent your hard-earned money on a new lens, it's always a good idea to buy a UV filter to protect the front element from dust, fingerprints and damage. A good quality UV filter will not affect the image quality, but it will protect your lens. And if your lens were to take a bit of a knock during a shoot, then it's a lot cheaper to replace a filter than to get the lens repaired. This is why I always have a UV filter on the front of all my lenses. Once again, don't go cheap here. There's no point in spending a lot of money on an expensive lens and then sticking a cheap plastic filter in the front of it. I highly recommend spending money on a good quality brand like this Hoya 62mm UV filter. And apart from UV filters, there are also some creative filters that you can take a look at, like circular polarizers, which work really well on sunny and bright days. A circular polarizer works just like sunglasses and can give you really cool effects like cutting out reflections or increasing the deep saturation of blue skies and green trees on sunny days. This circular polarizer from Hoya, for example, is a filter that I highly recommend you have in your camera bag, especially if you're into landscape photography. Number 6, a collapsible 5-in-1 reflector. Now this piece of kit is so simple and inexpensive that it was one of the first things I bought when I started photography. It is so small and versatile that I never leave home without it, especially when I'm shooting portraits or pre-wedding sessions. This 5-in-1 reflector is my favorite because, as the name suggests, you get 5 different options all in one simple package. You get a silver side and a gold side for more warm reflections, and also a white side for more subtle reflections. But along with that, as a bonus, you also get a diffusion panel and a black side to add shadows and cut out light if you want to. Now this 5-in-1 reflector costs less than 1000 rupees, but the amount of flexibility that it adds to your lighting and photography is just amazing. I mean, if you don't already own one, what are you waiting for? Number 7, a JOBY GORILLAPOD. Now we would all like to have a tripod handy with us whenever we want, but nobody wants to carry around a heavy tripod all the time. That is when something like the JOBY GORILLAPOD comes super handy. Now this thing allows you to mount your camera pretty much everywhere, and the flexible legs even allow you to mount the GORILLAPOD on things like pipes or tree branches. And all this in a package that is small enough to fit into the corner of your camera bag. It's a win-win if you ask me. Now the GORILLAPOD comes in a few different variants, like smaller ones for point and shoot cameras and smaller mobile phones, and also bigger ones for things like mirrorless cameras and DSLRs. The one I use is this one, which also has a ball head for extra flexibility. Number 8, solid state drives for fast on-site backup. Now picture this, you're in the middle of a shoot and you need to do a fast data transfer. Or maybe you've just finished shooting a DJ party, it's 3 in the morning and you need to be up at 7 a.m. for the next event. As wedding photographers, we've all been in situations like this, and a few extra minutes of sleep just seem priceless. This is where solid state drives or SSDs come super handy. Now unlike traditional hard drives, SSDs don't have any moving parts and have super duper fast transfer rates. Something that takes an hour to back up on a hard drive can take 15 minutes or less with an SSD. Now SSDs do tend to be more expensive than hard drives, but if you ask me, the extra price is well worth it for those extra minutes of sleep and rest. Now this Samsung T7, for example, has 1 TB of storage and data transfer rate up to 1050 Mbps. Compare that to a hard drive, which will give you about 100 to 100 Mbps data transfer rates. There's also the Seagate Pro SSD, which has 2000 Mbps of data transfer rate and is also drop, water and dust resistant. Number 9, the LOUPEDECK Plus for photo and video editing. The LOUPEDECK Plus is an intuitive, ergonomic and easy to use console for photo and video editing. The console features dials and buttons that fit naturally into your editing workflow and also take away the fatigue of using a keyboard and a mouse. The buttons are also customizable, so you can adjust them to suit your own personal workflow. The LOUPEDECK Plus also integrates perfectly with Lightroom, so you can start using it pretty much straight out of the box. So you don't have to worry about jumping between different menus and panels, and the LOUPEDECK actually allows you to focus on your creativity and enjoy the process of editing and color grading. Number 10, the SUNSEEKER and MOONSEEKER apps. Now I know technically these are not pieces of gear, but hear me out. The SUNSEEKER and MOONSEEKER apps are absolutely phenomenal for photography. The SUNSEEKER app lets you track the position of the sun and can even tell you exactly where the sun will be in the sky at any location at any time in the future. The MOONSEEKER app, of course, does this for the moon. Now this is amazing when you're planning a shoot because you can tell exactly where the sun will be during sunrise or sunset, and also if the sun will get blocked by things like mountains, buildings or other obstructions. Leave the guesswork out of your shoots and know exactly what the light will look like at your location. Now both of these apps are available for Android and iOS and are well worth the money. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you found this episode helpful. Let me know in the comments below what are your favorite pieces of gear that you just don't leave home without. As always, like and share this video so that we reach a lot more people. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.